Welcome everybody, my name is Caitlin. We're going to do a 15-minute float for busy minds and tense bodies. So if you need a little break in your day, if your mind's been going really fast, this is a place for you. To get started today, I want you to find a comfortable seated position, whatever that may look like for you. And we're going to start with some gentle hip circles at the base of the spine. So starting just with your hips, moving in small circles. And from there, I want you to slowly move that small circle up your spine. So begin to include your diaphragm, your ribs, your shoulders, your neck, and eventually your head. And starting to move slowly at first. And then from there, you can explore moving a little bit faster or a little bit bigger, until you find a circular movement that feels nice for you at this point. Keep working with that. Today we're going to begin working with the concept of space. So as of lately, I feel like I've been doing a lot of things, and I feel like I've had a lot of tabs open mentally. And I find myself trying to do all of the things at once, which just doesn't work very well. So today the practice is created with the intention of creating space in the mind, creating space in the body, because the two are interconnected. So when we make space in one, we feel space in the other, and vice versa. So I want you to slow your circles now, returning to a neutral spine. Taking a breath in, holding at the top, and releasing. Nice work. So I want you to move your hips in the opposite direction, doing that same thing. So starting at the base of the spine and slowly making it upwards motion. So eventually your whole torso is moving in this circular motion. So when our bodies and our minds get really busy, I also notice some tension. So the busy and the tense kind of go hand in hand with me. So we're going to create movement first to stir up all of that stagnant, tense energy. So I'm going to come back to the computer analogy because I think it demonstrates it really well. So when I have a lot of tabs open, eventually the computer freezes and it lags and suddenly the whole thing crashes. Our bodies kind of do that too. We need to crash. We need to create movement. We need to create energy. Something needs to happen. We just can't keep adding to it. It doesn't really work that way. Starting with these hip circles, noticing if there's any discomfort, noticing if it feels stuck, if it feels stagnant, that's okay. Keep working with it, keep moving with it. We got to start by creating the energy before we can get to the space. So one more inhale here, one more exhale. You can slow your spinal circles and return to a neutral spine. We're going to do a short breath work practice before we get into moving. So we're going to explore balloon breathing today. So we're going to start with taking 3 sips in, hold at the top, and then 1 slow exhale. So I want you to practice that. So 3 sips in, hold at the top for maybe 4 seconds, and then 1 slow exhale. Excellent. So keep working with that breath. Maybe start with short, sharp inhales. A hold for 4 seconds, and then you exhale. And then maybe your 3 inhales are a little bit deeper. Hold for a little bit longer, maybe it's 6 seconds this time. And then maybe exhale for 8 seconds. Nice work. I'm going to have you do that one more time. Hold and exhale. Beautiful. So we're going to begin today by reaching your arms upwards. So lifting with your thumbs, reaching your arms up near your ears, and then check in that your hips are the base, that your ribs are tucked in, and that your shoulders are stacked on top of your hips. We have to create this structure to create length and space. So hips, tuck the ribs, shoulders over the top of your hips. Inhale here. As you exhale, I want you to turn your palms forward, draw the elbows and shoulders down into cactus arms. Very nice. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, draw your elbows down. Inhale, extend. Exhale, down. Nice work. So play with this at your own pace 2 more times. Very cool. We're going to place your hands on the mat and we'll move into a hands and knees position. Very good. So you want to have your knees underneath your hips and then your wrists stacked underneath your shoulders here. We're going to do one cat-cow. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, starting at the base, rounding the spine and tucking the chin towards your chest. Do that one more time. Inhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And then exhale, cat. Draw the chin towards your chest. Very nice. So we're going to extend your left leg out towards the side of your mat. So you're going to keep your right knee, your right hands exactly where they are, but you're going to extend that left leg out. And you're going to start rocking forwards and backwards. So you can begin to explore maybe moving your hands away or further apart. Maybe you move your foot closer or further from you. At least pick one thing, change it up, see how it feels, and then decide which of those 2 options feels best. Alright, 2 more rocks here. And then I'm going to have you walk your hands near your body and you're going to lift your torso up so your chest is over your hips. You're going to place your left hand on your outstretched leg and then lift the right arm towards the sky. So try and keep your shoulders square with your hips here so everything's nice and aligned. We're just creating space in the right side of your body. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, you can bring that right hand down to the ground and we're going to switch sides. So this time, you've got length from the tip of your toe to your hip, to your shoulder, all the way through your elbow and the tip of your finger. Noticing, observing, and being. And then I want you to float from one side to the other. So you're going to float up to our original position on the left side, and then flow down, right hand towards the mat, space along the left side body. Very good. I'm going to have you come back to center, so on your hands and knees, please. So come back to center. I'm going to have you press your hips back to your heels into child's pose. Take 2 deep breaths here, and then returning to hands and knees. Very good. I'm going to have you switch sides, so you're going to extend your right foot out to the side of your mat, and then rock forwards and backwards, noticing, observing, and being. So when we're getting busy, when we're getting tense, I want you to kind of come back to this question of, in what way can I release? In what way can I release any tension I'm holding? In what ways can I release expectations I have? In what ways can I just release? Excellent. When you're ready, you come back to center, walk your hands towards your body, lifting up your torso, and begin playing with those side body stretches. So this time your right hand's going to go down to your right leg, left hand reaches up, extending across that side of your body from your hips to your shoulders. Taking a breath or two here, and then switching sides. Very good. Grounding all the way through your toes. And then from that grounded position, you're going to find length up your knee, to your hips, your shoulders, your elbows, all the way out to your fingers. And try and keep that alignment. So making sure your shoulders aren't moving forwards or backwards, and that they are very square with your hips, and your back is as straight as it can be. And that straight is not a stagnant, a rigid straight. We want a very nice, airy straight. So that way you can feel the energy flow from your hips up to the spine, like there's a lot of movement, a lot of space. I'm using the word space a lot, I know. But when we create a straight back, it creates more space for your breath. So if we're hunched over, you're going to notice your diaphragm is a little bit squished because everything's a little bit closer together if you're leaning forward. And if you're leaning back, there's some tension, obviously, in your spine. Your muscles are very engaged, so there's not as much space for your breath, for your lungs to fully expand. So that's why we want to create alignment first, and then that creates room for your breath and your lungs to really expand. Nice job. You can come back to hands and knees and sit back into child's pose for a breath or two here. Very good. We're going to do one sun salutation and then close our practice for today. So when you're ready, you can lift your hips up, beginning in hands and knees. Again, checking alignment with your hips under your knees and your wrists underneath your shoulders. I'm going to have you press into your hands, and you're going to lift your hips up, lifting your knees off the mat into a downward dog. So taking a moment to situate, squaring off your hands, making sure those are at the same height, having your hands align with your feet and your feet align with each other so you have this nice stable rectangle. From here, a generous bend in your knees, and then letting the chest fall towards the mat just a little bit. Again, just enough to create that structure and that energy through your spine. Very good. So here you're going to inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, jump, hop, or step your feet forward. We're going to rise up to forward fold. And then inhale, halfway lift. So creating space across the chest as we do this. Exhale, fold. Your hands can be on your legs, on your thighs, your shins, or you're hanging in front of you, whichever feels best. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, reach the arms upwards to mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold. Taking whichever variation you want right here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back into plank. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. You can go down to your knees if you wish. Exhale all the way down to your mat. Inhale, baby cobra, so pressing into the hands, lifting up the chest and the gaze. Exhale, release, stepping back into downward dog. We'll run through that one more time. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, jump, hop, or step your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Create a little bit of a smile here, a little bit of gratitude. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, fold into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, placing your hands down, stepping back into plank. Inhale, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice work. You can come down onto hands and knees and then find yourself in a seated position. So we're going to end today with a seated figure 4 position. So you're going to place your left foot on the mat, knee nice and bent, and then you're going to place your right foot across the top of your left knee. So I want you to keep your right foot flexed and engaged. So we want to protect our knee while we're working in this pose. So keeping your foot engaged will engage the muscles, help protect your joints, and all that good stuff. So from here, you can place your hands behind you and then play around with the length of your foot. Play around with the placement of your left foot. So bring it a little bit closer to you. Notice how that feels. Move it a little bit away. And then try and find a sweet spot where you're noticing a little bit of engagement, but we're not experiencing pain or discomfort. Just noticing a bit of engagement is all we're looking for. And then if you want to begin by swaying back and forth while we're here, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Very good. When you're ready, you can place your foot back on the ground and switch sides. So your right foot's planted, knees bent. Left foot is coming across the top of your right knee. Foot's engaged. Playing around with the distance your right foot is just a little bit. Finding that sweet spot for today. And then rocking back and forth. Very nice. So if you want to do a little bit of like an ankle circle here, if you want to move a little bit more from side to side, you're more than welcome to. When you're ready, I'm going to have you pause in the center, place your foot back down onto the mat, and then you can lay down on your back, keeping your feet planted where they are. We're going to do just a couple windshield wipers. So as you're laying down, I'm going to have you slowly drop your knees towards the left side of your mat. And you'll notice your feet are going to turn with it. So you're going to be on the outer edge of your left foot and the inner edge of your right foot here. It may feel nice to extend your arms out in a T and then bring your gaze towards the right side. Inhale your knees to center and then slowly drop your knees towards the opposite side. I'm going to have you do one more on each side, so slowly bring your knees back up. And notice the weight in your tailbone here. Notice how it feels when you're shifting your knees from one side to the other. Very good. I'm going to have you bring your knees to your chest. Give them a nice big hug with your arms. Maybe rock from side to side. Perfect. Take a moment now to express gratitude first to the people around you, to something you're grateful for today, and then expressing gratitude to a relationship you have. And then lastly, expressing gratitude towards yourself. Thanks for flowing with me. You're more than welcome to stay in a Savasana pose for a little bit or go check out one of my meditations to close your practice. But Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope to see you again soon.